everyone, welcome back. It is time for another wrestling review, our third review of the week. It is finally here, our AEW All Out review. And let's just say AEW went all out with this pay-per-view. With me once again, we have Campo.Reviews, the man who reviews movies, TV shows, everything in between. Beetlejuice review coming out soon?
Yeah, probably soon. Yeah,
Probably
today,
soon.
probably.
Beetlejuice. There you go. But we are not talking about Beetlejuice. We are talking about AEW. But before we get into the pay-per-view recap, make sure you go down and click that little like button, that little thumbs up, give it a Bosico knee, and make sure you tell your friends. Get people to subscribe. We're so close to 350. Let's hit 350, maybe in 400 before the end of the year.
Yeah.
I know it's doable. So like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff down below. Comments, whatever you got, let me know.
And while you're down there,
there's a link for Campo.Reviews too. You can go and sub to him.
That's not what I was gonna say, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's keep it PG today. Even though this pay-per-view was definitely not PG.
Definitely not PG.
We had what, 2 attempted murders on this show?
Yeah. It's fine. I think overall that the idea of some of those things works. We'll talk about it more as we go, but it's a lot of people are giving a criticism to the stuff that they did here, as if the ruthless aggression and attitude eras didn't happen, where there was just constant R-word storylines and racist as crap stuff. I don't know if was it you that sent me that Triple H thing today?
Yes.
Where it's just him doing an Indian accent, asking Indian people like if he can get to Pakistan. Asking
Indian
people.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, please do. That's completely racist. But that was the Attitude Era. Or The Rock speaking Chinese.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. It is what it is because that's in the past at this point. But I feel like there's a lot of WWE people, like specific, not like crossover people that are like, oh, this, that, and the other thing. But it's like, you guys are now changing from PG to start doing stuff like this.
Yeah. Oh, good news. Starting next month, Raw is going down to only 2 hours instead of 3.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it should be because most of that is just filler.
Yeah.
I don't need the same person cutting a promo 3 times in one night.
We'll save that for the state coming out later in the month or next. We'll see. But let us go right into the pay-per-view. The first pre-show match, 4 of them this time. So there was the pre-show this time was only an hour and a half, not 2 hours like All In, but instead of 3 matches, we had 4 matches on this one. But let's get right into it. The Acclaimed facing the Iron Savages. The Acclaimed fell down the cards. Weren't these guys called something before, like Bear Country or something?
Yeah, I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it was something else. It's the Acclaimed. I don't know. I don't like them anymore. I've grown tired of it. The
gimmick's gotten stale.
Yeah, I think so. This is one time when I think a turn should happen, and I think that could get you back to the top of the card.
Yeah.
Because both of them are good wrestlers on their own, and I don't think they need each other.
And they're nowhere near the title picture.
Right. You could separate them, have them do their own thing for a bit, and then like in a year, if they're still signed, have them come back together for like a big pay-per-view event to help each other do something, you know?
Yeah. Common enemy or something.
Yeah.
But the Acclaimed go over. It was a fine pre-show match.
Yeah, it was
like in ring work. It wasn't bad. I liked it. So with that, our second pre-show match was a trios match. Not the trio of Dustin Rhodes and the Von Erichs, but Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, and Hologram against the Premier Athletes.
Hologram is maybe one of the best talents in all of wrestling right now.
Yeah. Not that young, not as new as people think. He's been around 15 years.
Yeah, but he's still new to like the North American scene.
The North America, or the US scene, because he's been in Mexico for
That's true. Mexico is part of North America.
Yes. NAFTA, baby. But again, this was fine. They're giving Dustin a little bit more shine. They're really putting Sammy as the face of ROH, I think.
I think they want to do that. I think they want to do
Sammy eventually, once their title runs are done, I think Sammy's going to be going on to face Briscoe.
I think he lost his AEW spot and they're making him earn it back. And I think that's fair because he was way too cocky about what he had. Like, look at what Jungle Boy did. I know he had a baby, okay? I'm not like discrediting him for that, but look at what Jungle Boy did. He did something stupid. He got punished. He went and he made himself better.
Yeah.
And came back better.
He's improved. He's actually improved in the ring too.
He's very good.
Those
And
couple months in Japan really helped.
Darby Allin became a guy, as much as I don't think he should be a 4-pillar guy, or him or Sammy.
But being paired with Sting helped him too.
Helped him a lot. And he literally he became a company man. He
Yeah.
became the young John Moxley, which was like, we need you to do this. Okay.
Yeah.
No storyline. Jump in today. You're going to get your ass kicked. Okay.
Okay.
You know?
But this was, again, another fine match. The trio of Rhodes, Guevara, and Hologram win.
I'm happy because I really like
Dustin.
liked what Dustin, so I'm glad that he's getting this.
Yeah. So with that, our third match of the night, this was my favorite of the pre-show matches, the Bang Bang Gang against the Dark Order. Juice Robinson is something else.
Yeah, this was a pretty good match, actually. And I mean, they're just loading up this pre-show with the popular
these three
guys.
members of the Dark Order, they're the last three, they're the only three members left, right?
Who is it? John, Alex, and
Eva Luno.
Eva Luno, yeah. I have a feeling that like there's either two things gonna happen with Anna Jay. She's gonna migrate back to them, or she's gonna stay in Soraya's stupid little group.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know which one is better for her career.
Neither, probably.
She was pretty good in Japan. I watched a bunch of matches from that Stardom.
And Julia Hart's hurt again, right?
I think so, yeah. For a while still. She's still not even, she never even came back.
No. So, but tell me how big of a babyface pop did Juice get when he got the hot tag?
Juice is so popular, man. He's such a good character. He understands what wrestling is.
He reminds me of remember back in maybe late 90s, early 2000s, there was the honeycomb, what's it?
Yeah, the guy. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a guy too that had a really stupid character. WWE created this.
I'll put him up
character,
here. I'll put both images up. Yeah.
And he went to Japan and slowly phased out of it into becoming Rock Hard Juice Robinson, which was such a funny character. Like that whole thing that he went through. That whole group of people is so well managed right now. Like whatever they're doing, the Guns have gone from being the most hated two idiots in
a
AEW
joke of a tag team
to like legit. Like we always said they had the potential, and like look at what they've become.
They just need to be paired with the right people.
Exactly.
And they're probably on their way to begin. So it is no more Bullet Club Association. It's just the Bang Bang Gang now.
It is. Do you know when that happened? Because
I don't know when that happened, but yeah, they don't refer to themselves as BC Gold anymore.
It's weird because then
if you look, the merch is gone too.
Okay. Because like recently we thought that again. Remember, we thought that 2 different times. At both times they mentioned Bullet Club again, and it was like okay,
they didn't on this show at all.
Okay.
Just like the ABC are completely non-affiliated with it anymore either.
But the ABC still has shirts, that the Bullet Club shirts. You can still buy the buy Ace and Bay Club.
Yeah, but the association is gone. But Bang Bang Gang win. You think they're going to be poised for another trios run?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're going to wait for Jay to come back, and then they're going to give them the trios belts and a singles belt. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like he'll win the international title or something.
Yeah. With that final pre-show match of the night, it's the Undisputed Kingdom versus Shane Taylor Promotions and Top Flight, and the Beast Mortos is with Shane Taylor Promotions, which that didn't make any sense at all. But
I didn't really like this match. It was too much going on. It was cluttered.
Yeah, this was the weakest out of all 4 matches on the pre-show, but
it wasn't bad.
No, but I mean, the pre-show did what I wanted it to do. Just get me hyped up for the main card.
And they've become more like TNA or a WWE pre-show matches now, where it's more about just
getting the guys on the card,
rather than trying to put on like a match that sells you a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Right. Which is weird because that's all the pre-show's really supposed to be for.
Yeah, if the pre-show's this good, can you imagine how good the show's going to be?
Yeah, but now it's more like just like, hey, look, you know that guy, buy this pay-per-view. And it's like, okay. But I mean, they're not bad. They're just not like, there's no like insane matches the last 2 pay-per-views.
Yeah. But with that, the Undisputed Kingdom do win, and it doesn't really matter. Ooh, boba. Chai time? Nice. Sorry, distracted, ADD. Go to our main show. We are going to our opening match, which is MJF versus Daniel Garcia.
This match is fantastic.
Daniel Garcia had no right being this good.
I think
They have seriously undervalued Garcia.
we had a place, right?
Mhm.
Of him, Ricky Starks, and a couple other guys that were like
The next wave.
the next four pillars, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Ricky Starks apparently is a huge douchebag, so that's on him for like where he ended up. But it's there's a few guys on AEW's roster that with a lot of potential to just do it. Takeshita's definitely on there. I know he's like not truly an original or anything, but
yeah, but he's an Omega guy, so we know.
yeah, he's got it. But yeah, it just great
Yeah.
match. I think the story told in the ring was
And it was a long
fantastic.
match too. This was a 25-minute match.
And there was a small period, I would say, I'm just gonna guess, between the 17 and like 20-minute mark where it kind of lost me, but then it picked up again, and I was like, holy crap. I'm like,
Yeah,
what a
right
story.
before right before it was slow, right before the ref bump, and then after the ref bump is when it picked up.
It's just solid stuff here.
Yeah,
MJF
great.
really can do no wrong.
Yeah, and it's said that we are not the biggest MJF fans either.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's the greatest
Professional wrestler of this generation.
Yeah, his move set doesn't garner best wrestler. He can talk. His talking got a bit annoying, but his promos that he's been cutting with Garcia brought it all back, because that whole thing for me with Will Ospreay was weak as fuck. That whole all the promos, everything about it was so weak for me.
Yeah, but the only thing is, the only nitpick I have with this match is the wrong kid died. This could have been so huge for Garcia to win. Instead, MJF gets the win.
You can't put over Garcia. You did
No.
you got Garcia over in the way that you made him look good, but you can't let him beat MJF.
Not yet.
No.
Unless the rumors are true and he's leaving.
But that's why they set up the feud apparently at All In. All In, and then had the tombstone off the top rope situation. Because they were like, well, we were going to do this match with you, but now we're not going to do this match with you. That's why they immediately introduced the Will Ospreay angle. So in case they thought he was going to leave, they could write him off. And they did. But then I'm guessing he's not leaving. So they brought back this whole storyline.
Yeah. Which I wasn't upset about. Not at all.
No, it worked really good.
Yeah. Next match, Young Bucks defending the AEW World Tag Team Championship against BCC members Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. Now, before we get into this match, this is my little nitpick. You have champions going after other champions instead of defending their championship. This is the only thing that irks me. Like, there's other matches like that too. Jack Perry is your TNT champion. Instead of him defending, he faces the world champion. You know what I mean? Like,
but I think that's because they wanted to. I think it's an elevation storyline. At least we'll find out something later, but I think this was to like show that Wheeler Yuta and Claudio do belong on a bigger stage, because the trios belts are fine, but they're not like at the highest thing, right? So them wrestling on a pay-per-view for the tag belts, I think, elevates them slightly.
Yeah.
And I think it's
up something
also
for later.
It's also to help set up Wheeler Yuta a little bit.
Yeah.
For potentially moving somewhere, but I thought the match was fine. It was good. No, it was a good match.
It was a good match.
It was a little spotty, but that's a Young Bucks match.
Yeah.
And I think Claudio overdid
Caps will probably
uppercuts.
say it's shit because it's the Young Bucks.
Yeah. Putty definitely hated it. But the uppercuts were overdone. Like, that really kind of, I lowered the score just because of uppercuts. Like, there was a point where he was just doing uppercuts for like 10 minutes.
Okay.
However, it was still a good match. Like, I would never point at this and say bad match. I think there was a decent actual story going on.
Great in ring. It does, like you said, it sets up something for later.
Yeah, I think maybe we got to chill with the
European uppercuts,
the near falls too. Like, because when they started, when the Young Bucks win. But when BCC started getting really close to actually winning, it didn't feel that close because we've already seen so many near
Yeah.
falls for this whole match.
And it all, for me, it takes away a little bit too, because we know BCC are trios champions, so they're not going to beat the Young Bucks.
Well, we knew they weren't going to win even if they weren't trios
Yeah.
champions. So there's no way you're ending this storyline to give Claudio and Wheeler the belt.
Who's gonna end the Omega and Takeshi?
Okay, so on my whole theory, guys, I think I said it yesterday. I think that something to do with Kota Ibushi comes back. He gets bullied by those guys for a bit. Kenny comes back and Kenny and Kota win the tag belts. If that,
Okay.
I think that's like the general idea of a plan they want to do, but we
Mhm.
don't know yet if it's going to happen. So I think they're just keeping it here until they can figure out what they're going to
Yeah,
do.
because we're not 100% sure if Kenny's
Yeah.
how far along Kenny is in his recovery.
Yeah.
But Young Bucks, like you said, Young Bucks to retain. With that, we're gonna go to Will Ospreay versus Pac.
It's a 5-star match. I mean,
100%.
I'm going to be honest with you. This is going to sound stupid because I just said it's a 5-star match, but everybody was telling me about this. Like, I got multiple messages from people, and I wasn't that impressed by it in that sense. Like, is it overall a great match? Was there a good story told? Was I happy with what happened? Yes, but the way people were talking to me, I was expecting like a
Match of the year.
7 out of 5-star match, and I was just like, okay, it's just a really good match.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
don't know.
Meltzer, I'm sure, gave it 8.5 stars.
We'll see, because Will Ospreay's his new Kenny. I gotta blow my nose. You figure this out.
Yes, but Will Ospreay does retain the belt. The Pac, basically, this is the best I've seen Pac since his debut. The only thing like I said, it's I'm still a little, like, my little nitpicky is the fact that Pac is your trios champion with the BCC, and instead of the trios defending the belts once again, you have a champion going after another belt.
But I think there's a point to this once again.
Yeah, which is going to set up something for later.
It's also they didn't have immediate storylines, so they're trying to give people matches you would want to see.
Yes, this feels like what are matches you want to see, and let the in-ring work tell the story instead of like, because there was no build-up for All Out. These are just matches.
This card was very BCC, the Elite, and the Conglomerate heavy. Like, that's what they wanted. That's what they're showing off right now.
But hey, I'm not upset by that. But in the end, Will Ospreay does retain, as it should be. I think Will Ospreay's poised for a long run with this belt.
Oh, for sure.
Unless they're going to do the Ricochet right away, because after the match they do a little interview backstage and he calls out.
I think it's gonna get delayed until Wrestle Dream. Actually, is Wrestle Dream next?
I believe so. Is it? Yeah, Wrestle Dream is next.
No, isn't Full Gear next?
No, Wrestle Dream, Full Gear in November, and then whatever the December one is, World's End.
The name of that, World's End, yeah.
And then, unless they do that one in Japan,
because
what is it? What are they calling Royal Wrestling or whatever? The one after Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, I don't know the name.
Yeah, but I think unless they save that for that, bring them both back to Japan for that.
Hey, maybe they will,
and hold off on it. But like I said, Will Ospreay does retain. In a fantastic match. With that, going into our next match, a Chicago Street Fight, Chris Statlander versus Willow Nightingale.
This is like one of the best women's matches I've ever watched.
Yeah.
It was so intense. There was so much.
Does not come close to Mariah May versus Toni Storm from a couple weeks ago.
I mean, it's pretty close.
It is pretty close.
Consider the fact that it's Chris Statlander, who we've been very low on for a long time. It was a really well put together match that had a lot of really high spots and an excellent story told throughout the match. Like, it's not the best women's match of the year, but it's one of the best ones I've watched. Yeah.
Probably top 5 of AEW this year.
Maybe top 5 period this year for women's matches. There's a good chance for that.
Yeah, but this was
the best women's plunder match I think I've ever seen.
Okay, let's say this was also the best women's match on the card.
Well, yeah, it definitely is.
But Chris Statlander showed me a lot more in this match. Like, this is what I expected from Chris Statlander.
She put it all out there.
Literally all out, pun intended.
And she did it. And
she took the thumbtacks to the crotch.
Willow came out dressed for a street match. And Chris Statlander, for some reason, was wearing the least amount of clothes we've ever seen her wear and just took thumbtack spots like a monster.
Yeah. right to the
Actually, you know
crotch.
what? I'm wrong. I said this might be the best women's plunger match we ever seen. I don't know. Layla Hirsch was pretty good.
Yeah, that one was the one on ROH. Yeah,
Okay, whatever. It's a good match.
it's a
Okay,
good match.
sue me.
But in the end, Chris Statlander does win. Are they finally going to do Chris versus Willow for the CMLL?
I don't know because I think they're gonna do that on CMLL.
Okay.
I think so. Whatever they decide is gonna be the
Yeah,
match.
that's all up to CMLL. And it's like I said, I put two wrestlers and they let them wrestle in a plunder match. I liked it. I really enjoyed it. So with that, we're going to go next. Kazuchika Okada defending the AEW Continental Championship until up against three other people that were a mystery up until the card, and they turned out to be Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and Konosuke Takeshita. Again, Mark Briscoe, your ROH champion, going after another belt.
I really thought Takeshita was gonna win this by shenanigans.
No, but in a four-way, we knew Okada would have. Okada wins. Let's just say it right off the
Yeah, but
bat.
I figured Okada would get like knocked out of the ring outside, and then Mark Briscoe would get beat by like a low blow from Takeshita or some shit like that.
No, I have a feeling that
I know what they
Takeshita will
want to
be.
do.
Hmm.
I know what they want to do, but I thought now was the time you pull the trigger.
Yeah, I know it's going to
In a
be a singles
four-way
match.
match, when you don't have to make Okada look bad,
Hmm.
and then you could drag that out and then have him fight Okada.
Yeah, but either way, I'm not upset by it. Um, I mean, Orange Cassidy, I like the spots where like everybody's doing like the suplex spot, and Orange Cassidy can't get anybody up. That was
And
that
then
was a
Mark Briscoe immediately does it right after,
yeah.
just
I
like
thought that
flips
was a fun
Okada.
spot. Like like you said though, they really need to pull the trigger soon with Takeshita
Yeah, you have to.
because if he the contract expires and he's not getting what he needs, he's
Listen,
back to Japan.
I
Like
love Will
he'd be a star in Noah.
I love Will Ospreay and I love Pac, but I think Takeshita is the best wrestler on in AEW right now.
Oh yeah, hands down. Like in terms of like current active wrestlers, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And if they don't, like I said, if they don't treat him right and pull the trigger with him with something soon, I could see him jumping to Noah or to New Japan.
I don't think he'll ever go to Noah. I don't think there's money there for him.
But New Japan will throw the
New
dollars at
Japan will.
they'll throw the yen right at him.
And AEW wouldn't be that upset about it because they'll still get to use him, right?
Yeah.
But it's how DDT feels. He seems like he's very loyal to DDT, and they are owned by Noah, so you never know, or the same company, right?
Yeah. Like, what if Noah offers him, like, we may not be able to pay you as much, but you're going to be our top guy.
It could be. You never know.
But speculation aside, we're not Russell Talk here. We don't make speculation on that kind of stuff. We just like the fantasy book. But like we said, Okada does retain. I think we're doing Takeshita versus Okada at Wrestle Dream or probably at the Japan pay-per-view.
It's possible. I mean, I'm not upset. This match was actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little bit long,
Yeah. But
but
there was not a single match under 15 minutes on this card.
yeah, they were. It was very long.
But it was a shorter card, not as many matches,
That's true.
right? On the main card, there were only 8.
Yeah, it
So
was 12, but like
I
in
said on the main
total.
card.
Yeah, I know.
Not
I'm
if you
saying 12 total, so it's still
yeah.
not really short, but it wasn't like bloated.
No. All In, as much as I loved it, I felt All In was a little bloated.
Yeah, but they always do that. It's a
Yeah.
big pay-per-view, right?
Yeah. So with that, our next match of the night, which for me was the worst match of the night, was Monet versus Sheeta.
Okay, so it was the worst match of the night, but I completely disagree with you that it was a bad match. I thought it was really good actually. It's just compared to everything else on this card, it stands out as being noticeably weak.
For me, it's she just beat Sheeta 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. Why is she getting another shot?
Because Sheeta's their go-to when they need to put someone in a match and they don't want to bring Tony Storm
Just yet.
into this like level. I don't think Tony Storm's ever going to be in the TBS thing until they're
No.
done with her. Jamie Hayter is not there yet. Jamie Hayter is going to be the one who wins.
Yeah. But Jamie Hayter, I don't think she's cleared, but not 100% cleared, I guess is the right way to put it.
Fair.
Yeah. But Monet does retain, as we knew that was coming. And like we were mentioning on shows the other night, this fake CEO chant at the beginning of her entrance.
Yeah, but I told you, it's like it's a thing. It's like Will Ospreay has that thing in his
Yeah,
song too, where it has a fake cheer at the beginning of the song, and then it has the
yeah,
people singing Ospreay, Ospreay.
yeah,
Um, it is what it is. She is
yeah.
clearly popular.
Yes,
But they're just trying to make sure people understand what they're supposed to do, which
yeah,
I mean, it's very WWE of them, but it's
yeah.
part of wrestling.
So Monet retains, co-main event of the night. Bryan Danielson defending against Jack Perry, the AEW World Championship.
Oh, match was amazing.
I would call this match of the night.
I would say this is better than Strickland versus Danielson.
Yes, 100%. What I gave it, I wouldn't say give it extra points, but what I didn't take away points from this time was the fact that we didn't get the Bryan Danielson injury where it's like, oh no, the medics need to come to the ring and
I mean, what we did, but post match.
post
Um,
match. Yeah.
it was a really good match. Jack
Yeah.
Perry is absolutely excellent, and
Hmm.
he's very deserving of what he gets. I love the tease at the end of Luchasaurus and
Hmm.
Jungle Boy,
Yeah.
and I can see that somewhere down the line they're both going to split on their factions and team up back together. You could tell they're definitely throwing that out there.
They're Luchasaurus is gonna, or the patriarchy will turn on Luchasaurus for failing one too many times, and Jack Perry's gonna come in and save him.
It's going to be something, and they're going to turn them face.
Yeah. And you're gonna get Jack Perry and Luchasaurus versus Nick Wayne and
Yeah, I mean,
Christian
I'm very
Cage.
excited to watch Christian versus
Jack Perry.
Danielson. Danielson,
Oh,
because he
Jack
has the
Perry too.
contract. Yeah, Jack
I
Perry
want to see
too.
Jack Perry too. Like,
This match was really good. It was
yeah.
just overall really good match. Excellent story told. I love the
Hmm.
final countdown. Like we're all having fun. Bryan Danielson is just doing his best
He's
fucking
he's
impression
enjoying
of
the tail
everyone,
end of his career.
and it's good. I like it a lot. And at the end of the match, so the patriarchy jungle Luchasaurus comes out,
Yeah.
headbutts
Luchasaurus comes out.
Danielson.
Hmm.
Has like a little stare down with Jack Perry. You think something's about to happen. They tease it, and then the patriarchy music plays. Christian comes out.
Yeah.
He wants to cash in on a beat up Danielson and win the thing.
Post match, Danielson
I didn't know
retains.
that's how this worked. I thought it was just at a pay per view. Now you face him. I didn't know you could come out at any time and be like, I
It's kind
challenge
of
for the
like their
belt.
version of Money in the Bank.
Yeah, it's like the New Japan Cup, right?
Yeah.
Um,
It's very much like the casino chip, except this wasn't the casino chip.
yeah, I think they just changed it, right? I think
Yeah.
maybe that's only for Vegas. Who knows?
Or
So
the brass ring.
yeah, the Sonic ring.
Yeah.
So they come out, blah blah blah, and then the BCC comes out. We get first view of John Moxley actually
Hmm.
helping the BCC in a while. We don't know what's going on. We thought he was defecting from the BCC. He's not.
Nope.
And then for
They're
me, this was like a really good moment because for me, I felt like, oh, they're finally understanding how factions work in
yeah
Japan, where it's like I don't need to be with you all the time, but there's
to be
times
part of
that
your
we're
group.
just
Yeah.
together, regardless of what my own storyline is that's
Hmm.
happening. And then they scare off them, they leave, and then they get in the ring to celebrate with uh
Danielson,
Danielson, and they're
Mox
getting
and Danielson hug, and then
they hug,
Claudio and
everything's
Danielson.
good, and then Claudio throws an uppercut to Bryan Danielson. And then Pac is holding back Wheeler Yuta, which this is
Oh
what I
my
love the
God.
most about
Wheeler
this.
Yuta selling here was
It,
phenomenal.
everyone's this the work here was
Yeah.
so good. This is one of the best storylines I've ever seen in AEW,
Yeah.
and it's only went on for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Um, they put a plastic bag on Danielson's head. Everyone starts chanting, "This is murder."
Yeah. Which is our
Um,
first attempted murder of the night.
yeah, it's numero uno. I don't know. Actually, Chris Statlander had a few close
Okay. Yeah.
moments in
That's
that
true.
match. Um, but yeah, and
So I sent
yeah,
it to my brother. I didn't send it to you because I wasn't sure whether you saw the match or not. But there's one I sent. It's a picture of Danielson holding. Remember when he was like the eco champion and he had like the
yeah,
hemp belt? It says the eco champion choked with plastic, just like a
yeah,
turtle.
nice. Yeah, that's true though.
I love it
Uh,
too.
yeah, it was a good attempt there, and at the end they leave
Yeah.
once he's dead.
Once he's
um,
dead.
Wheeler Yuta goes
But you
over to
could
check on
see,
him.
like, I mean, like, and I don't want to take away from it. And I'm not going to take points away from it, but clearly you see, like, Danielson did rip it open a little bit so he can breathe through
Well,
it.
the cameraman at one point when they cut away, the cameraman pushes it out of his mouth to make sure that he's not tending
Yeah.
with the bag on his head still.
Yeah. which is also a throwback to when Danielson choked out Justin Roberts with the tie when he was part of the Nexus.
There you go. We're all, everything comes back together.
Yeah. But as much as I like, even though I felt like the plastic bag was over the top, I still enjoyed it.
Because if it had this sense of like, this is a split up that you notice. And what I
Yeah.
liked about it is we didn't split up the BCC. We just eliminated a person out of it. Because
Yeah.
the BCC had been going pretty heel for a while. And then watching the weird turn of Wheeler Yuta and Claudio become tweeners.
Yeah.
And then Brian Danielson going full face just felt weird. And then you had Moxley come back and go extra heel for no reason.
Yeah.
And you're just like, okay, I'm so confused here. What is happening?
Yeah.
But now it
So
makes
this
sense
is
why
going
they
to
brought
air
Pac
on
in.
this is going to air on Wednesday, this episode here. So we're going to find out tonight what's going to happen with
and I think it's good. Pac is a good replacement because he's heel. And
he needs a spot because there's no more Death Triangle because they're pretty much gone too.
So, and now you're going to find out what's going to happen with Wheeler Yuta because he's still a trios champion with them. Is he going to leave or is he going to join them? Are they going to bring in another member and then kick out Wheeler Yuta the same way they did to Danielson now?
Yeah, you're either with us or you're against us.
And they had to remove Danielson for the fact that if he's going to go on this run right now, he needs to be out of Blackpool Combat
he needs
Club.
to be out of
it has to be every, like, he's, because you know how this is going to end. It's going to be him versus Moxley.
Yeah.
And he's going to lose the belt to Moxley.
You think it's going to be to Mox?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't want it to be, but I think that's where it's going.
But no,
because
like
then
I said,
you can have Moxley lose to anybody.
Yeah, but
right,
for
he's
me,
not that kind of guy.
For me, it was Wheeler Yuta's reaction. Like it was just like priceless. Like it sold the angle.
Oh yeah, they cut away and cut back to it like 6 times because they're like, holy shit, it's so good. You got to go back.
You got to go back to it. But yeah. And we didn't even mention that Marina Shafir is now part of it too.
Yeah. Right. So but I
which
do
is funny because that's Roddy Strong's wife.
Yeah, but like they're in their own thing. I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, the Undisputed Kingdom is rudderless without Adam Cole.
It has no star power.
I really don't think Cole's coming back.
I know.
I think his career is done.
But then you have him be the face of that faction as like a talker.
Yeah, the mouthpiece.
And I think that's fine with me.
Yeah. But let us go. Unsanctioned match. Lights out steel cage match. Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland. Grudge match, whatever you want to call it.
Excellent. Just excellent. What an excellent match.
This, and you know me, I'm not the biggest fan of these death matches.
This didn't feel death matchy though.
Until the end.
Yeah, until the end. It felt like what we normally see from AEW, like a blood and guts match.
Yeah.
For the most part.
My favorite was something that I've never seen before is Hangman Page trying to hold Swerve's neck under the cage as it's descending to try and decapitate him.
It actually started the other way around. Swerve was holding Adam Page underneath it. And
again, another instance of attempted murder.
But it's crazy because like this is like a lot of people are freaking out about this. We watched 2 women in mainstream wrestling, which doesn't happen often.
No.
Crack light tubes over each other's heads and then jump off the stage through tables. Like that rarely is gonna happen.
Yeah.
And that spot was huge in the Willow match. And until we got to the syringes here, like a lot of this was
the power bomb on the cinder block. That one.
Yeah, both spots on the cinder block were pretty nice. The swerve stomp through the table.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked them to at least have another table. I feel like they could have used another table spot, but I don't know. This was a solid
match.
Solid match, minus the cringe syringe.
I like what's his name? Paige takes out a piece of Swerve's burnt down house and he tries to stab him with it.
By the way, that promo was fucking unbelievable.
Like, if this were real, Paige would have like a felony count out the window.
I mean, Swerve also broke into his house and
tried to steal his baby or something.
And pulled a Brian Pillman. You know what I mean? So like
these guys would be serving if this were actual real, they'd be serving continuous life sentences.
And it's funny because
multiple life sentences.
I watched Wrestling with Regret. I watched Brian Zane's review for this, like right before we started this,
Yep.
because I just seen it pop up. And I thought he made a really good point that like for the whole match, they were selling the fact that both of them are pieces of shit, and we
Yep.
shouldn't have be on either person's side.
Like Swerve stapling the pictures to Paige's face.
And it was like it was an intense match. Okay, there
Yeah.
it was pretty like intense. Like, and
Yeah.
I'm not a deathmatch guy in a Nick Gage type way.
Mm.
But like there's like a level of it where I'm pretty okay with what's
My only
happening.
thing is not to take away from this, but AEW needs to cut back on these.
I think they do. They need to save it. But this situation
Called for it.
and Willow's
Yes.
they were both blow-offs to blood feuds.
Yes.
All right. Not in the sense of a blood feud like Zach Wentz versus
CM Punk versus
was
Drew McIntyre.
yeah, like both I think both of those and
They
it's
announced the Hell in a Cell match on
yeah,
Monday,
and it's gonna
but it's going to be nowhere near this type
it
of
better
match.
be good because you gave me two stinkers.
Yeah.
You better
Yeah.
be good.
Yeah.
Um
But Paige does win by injecting a syringe into Swerve's mouth.
and I think this might be a write off of TV for Swerve for a bit to
Both
get
of
him.
them.
Yeah, you think so? Because
Both of
I
them.
think Adam Page is ready to like do something to win a belt.
What belt? You can't really
Maybe he wins
switch.
the Ring of Honor belt
Okay, I'll take
because
that.
they don't defend that belt on Ring of Honor anyways, unless it's a
No,
pay per view.
unless it's a pay-per-view, yeah.
Right? There's a few options here, like give him the TV title in Ring of Honor and just have him go on a little run there where he's a heel and he's on a rampage that's destroying
But
everybody.
he's done the Ring of Honor TV championship back when he was in part of
I
Ring
know,
of.
but you need to give
That's
him some kind of
that's why
relevance.
I think, you know what, him versus Mark would be a fantastic match.
And
Maybe they'll do that.
Mark is a crazy baby face right now. So you have that buildup of him just dominating everybody and then do that,
Yeah,
something like that, right?
and then have like what's Final Battle? Is that the December pay-per-view for Ring
Yeah.
Final Battle? Yeah. And have Paige win it at Final Battle.
That's what I'm saying. And then you kind of get him out of AEW's like mainstream eye.
Yeah, because
A-
you're gonna run this Danielson angle for about a year.
Yeah, exactly.
6 months to a year.
So that seems like a fair thing to do. And Page has been great.
Yeah.
Swerve already flew so close to the sun, and it's
Yeah.
time for him to like you need to take a step back and like take a break.
Yeah.
We did everything we can with you. Maybe we bring you back just to finish the feud with Keith Lee
Yeah.
if Keith Lee somehow they figure that
Makes a
situation
return.
out.
But yeah, that's the show, folks. What'd you think?
I thought it was really good, but your turn to rate first, so I will
Okay,
sit
well,
here.
I thought this it's my highest scored pay-per-view of the year. I'm giving this an 8.8.
What was my highest score?
I
I'm
think
actually curious before I say this.
if it wasn't Revolution, where's Revolution? Revolution, you gave an 8.3. 8.5 is your highest, which was Noah's Destination.
My highest of the year was Noah's Destination?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. This is an 8.7.
Okay, so you and I are on the same page.
8.6 is 8.6.
Yeah, we're on the same page with this.
I was
But
going to
this
say
was
8.5, but if I gave Noah's Destination an 8.5, this was definitely better than that.
yeah. Like my highest rated yeah, because Backlash you gave an 8.4. Noah you gave an 8.5.
I definitely gave an AEW a high score, one of them.
Yeah, Revolution 8.3.
Yeah, this is an 8.6.
Yeah, this was better to me than Revolution. But yeah. So what do you guys think of AEW's All Out? Let me know in the comments box down below. That's where you'll find all our information. Campo stuff will be there too. I've been remembering to put all the links down there, so I've been good on that. So with that out of the way, guys, thanks again for joining us. Tune in next week. Next week, we should be able to do Victory Road and maybe a state. So tune in for that. And with the words of Kenny Omega, goodbye and good night.